Hello Minecrafters and welcome back to Minecraft Ages, my single player vanilla survival series of Minecraft. My name is Tolbert and I'm your host, and thanks for coming along. I'm glad you could join us on this wild and bumpy ride. Well, here we are at the general store and we've gone ahead and gotten some things stocked up in here. So this place is starting to come together. We gotta put a couple more things in here as well. We have lots of empty item frames and there's lots of things in Minecraft to fill those frames with. Well, our town is coming along pretty nicely here in Beardwood. We got our hotel, which is a nice 3-story there. We got the saloon and a couple of things, and well, there's one thing that this town is really missing at the moment. And that is people. There's nobody here. So we're going to have to set this up to be able to move some villagers over here and have them start doing their thing. Some of the things we're going to have to do is, like in the hotel room here, we got to give all of these doors skylight access so that they can be part of the village. And we just got to do a little bit of prep work in general for that. And so that's something we'll get to in a little bit. But first things first, as mentioned in the last episode, we need to go down and get some more diamonds out of our mine here. Is that we are very low on diamonds. I don't even have enough to replace the leggings that I broke. So what do you say we go ahead and, for the first time, let's do a mining speed up. So I went down in the mines for an hour, and let's go ahead and run that speed mining session real quick so that you can see everything that's going on and we can go ahead and discuss a little bit more. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is, actually I want you to go down in the description below and click on the very first link there. That should take you over to Anaris Alice's latest video where she took on the End Dragon after accidentally falling into the End Portal. Well, if you get a chance, subscribe to her channel and show her some love in those comments. She is a good friend of mine, and I hope you enjoy her content just as much as I've enjoyed it. Secondly, I'd like to talk about where we're going with this series here of the Minecraft Ages. We're almost done with our wild west town here. We got about 4 more builds to do and then we'll be completely done here. That is, we have to do the graveyard, because after all, the sheriff's got to shoot the bad guys that are robbing the bank, and we got to put those bad guys somewhere. So the graveyard is going to be the perfect place for them. Then we have to do the schoolhouse, because our young villagers that are coming up in the town here need a place to learn and hopefully become librarians and provide us with mending books and silk touch and all sorts of different books for us to buy. And if not, well, maybe they can become some of the all-around workers, the weaponsmiths, the armorers, the toolsmiths and whatnot, so we can get ourselves some good armor, some good weapons, and some good tools to bring along with us. So we got to do the schoolhouse. We have to do the ranch style farmhouse, and actually in the next video we're going to start planning out just exactly how that is going to look, at least as far as the floor plan itself. And then we'll start the construction shortly after that. And along with that, we have to go ahead and build a full-size barn out there as well. One where cows can come in and go out, and sheep can come in the other side and go out, and where we got to plant a whole bunch of wheat and carrots and potatoes and beetroot of all things. Don't really understand why beetroots are actually a thing, because there's not much you can do with them, and what you can do with them doesn't stack, I believe. But that's one thing we have to do there, and I believe that's going to finish up the town itself, except for maybe a couple small houses here and there between the back alleys and whatnot, places for the villagers to live, expand the number of doors so that we can get more baby villagers in there and hopefully get what we're looking for. And the third thing I want to talk about is the fact that I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I would love for you all to join me there, especially on the Tuesday and Thursday, where we'll be streaming from the Patreon server. About 2 weeks ago, I set up a Patreon account, and on September 1st is when I launched the Patreon server. And it's a hermit data pack type server. And that's where I plan on doing a couple mega builds. And I currently have a vote up on the very first Patreon video that is currently on YouTube, where you can help me decide exactly what build I'm going to be doing there first. Whether it's going to be a volcano town, living inside of a tree, or creating a UFO high in the sky. Personally, I'm leaning towards the UFO one myself, but we'll go with what the vote says and we'll try to do our best there. But you can also do this Patreon subscription, and after that process is the beginning of the month, you can follow the instructions to get yourself whitelisted onto that server, and you can go ahead and join along with me as we do these great builds, as we go around touring others and see what everybody else is up to, and hopefully grab some inspiration from several people out there. Bring things together for a very nice community there. And every Sunday I stream from a private server where it's me, Alice, and a couple of others. I just kind of play Minecraft, mess around, do some things, and just have a good old time. Well, that's really all I wanted to talk about during this, so let's go ahead and roll into some music as we finish up this sped up mining session, and I believe that this session ends at roughly about the 14-minute mark if you would like to fast forward. So we'll see you once this little session is done. And we're back from that little speed mining session there. We're here in the bank at the vault here, and we have 8 diamonds left over now, but I was able to replace my leggings. And we went ahead and made a couple more tools and had those enchanted, and well, led along with that. Got lots of lapis, got, well, no quartz, but got a lot of iron, a couple of emeralds, a lot of gold, and just a lot of things in general. So we did a good job down there getting some of those things. Well, I guess I should probably lock up the vault, shouldn't I? And so we're back in town here, and we need to do a couple of little things to be prepared for bringing villagers over. Like I said, one of the things was that we have to do sky access in the hotel. The way you say, we grab some glass here, and we're going to need more glass than that, that's for certain. Let's go ahead and we'll use up all the sand that we got to make more glass here. We'll head on over to the smithy real quick. We'll go ahead and power this on, and let's go ahead and throw all that sand in there, and let's see those furnaces light up. Boom, isn't that beautiful? And so all that's going to come out into this chest here. So what do you say we come back after we get all that glass smelted up? Okay, so there we have all that glass that we needed. So now we gotta go ahead, come on in here. We have to give sky access to a whole bunch of doors real quick. And that's going to include this door. We're just gonna knock all these things out in order to get all the way up to the rooftop. So let me go ahead and work on this. Actually, I'll keep you with me for right now. We have that little hole right there as well. So we're just going to knock out a bunch of these real quick. Let's go ahead and head up to the last floor and do all those again. And we should have roof there, which is good. So all these holes we're making, we're going to replace them with a little bit of glass. And that was the wrong one. Let's put that back real quick. Because in order for the doors to be counted as part of the village, they have to have sky access. In order for them to, and luckily, glass does not block sky access. So we do want to make it safe to walk around here, so we're going to, actually let's do the ones in the floor here first, just to make sure everything is going to be safe to walk around with. I don't want to accidentally fall all the way down and have to come all the way back up just to do this again. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then all those are in. We got to get that one in, and that should be good there as far as the hotel goes here. So now we have all those doors that'll be counted towards the village. We're also going to go over here to the saloon, and we're going to do the same thing to those few rooms we have up top. Right here, we're going to go ahead and give all of these sky access as well. And like I said, glass does not block the sky access, so that's good that we have those there. So now all of these doors will be counted towards the village. And we have a couple other things we need to take care of here. One thing first is that villagers, they can go in and out of doors without a problem. Which means with how this is set up right now, they can go ahead and enter that mine whenever they want. And, well, we can't have that. As much as villagers may want to go mine, if they do, they're probably not coming back out. So we're going to take a couple of these fence gates. Because one thing that villagers can't do is open fence gates. We're just going to go ahead and take those and slap those down there real quick. And there we go. Villagers are not going to be going down there anytime soon. So that secures them just a little bit more. And let's see, what else do we need to do around here? These doors should be considered to have sky access since the sky is 5 blocks away from the door. Within the 5 blocks, I believe that's what the actual thing is. So all those should be all set. Go and go look in the sheriff's office real quick here. These zombies back here should be okay since they're all locked up here. So that should be all right. And let's go ahead and take a look here. I think that is going to be good for the most part. So, before we can get the villagers out here, well, we need another portal in order to bring those villagers out and to us from. And, well, what better place to put another portal than what I think would be inside of a church. The town needs a church anyways. And so what better place for it? So let's go ahead, let's build ourselves up a church real quick. We're going to do that in a different style than normal. You can see how everything we've had here has been like sections put together and flat roofs and whatnot, because that's how a lot of the buildings back in the Wild West were. But this time, this one's going to be a bit more like a house. Because that's more like what the churches were. Got actual roofs and everything, so we're going to go ahead and throw that together, and let's do that. So everything down this way is 2 buildings, 2 buildings, 2 buildings. Well, I think the sheriff's office needs a little something extra right next to it. So let's go ahead, let's build up that church right here. And we'll get that sectioned off and ready to go. And so we'll be back after that church is fully built. We're going to go ahead and build this one off camera. So we'll go ahead and build this up real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back from building the church, and I think it looks, well, not too bad. We got our little cross up there, or we come around back. We got all of our stained glass in there as well. And we got the big cross around the back here. Go ahead and come on inside of the church here. You'll see that we have all of our little pews set up here. We even have a balcony for those that need to be up in this area, just in case things fill up down below. And we have a little... We have our little podium here for a preacher man to be speaking to everybody. Well, we also got the portal that's going to be right behind us here. Let's go ahead and get this going. And before we go through, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that middle block. And we're going to see that that middle block is -456 and -222. And so now we got to calculate just where in the nether that is going to be. So the reason I'm calculating that is, well, I think this portal is going to link up to the portal at spawn, since I believe we're definitely less than 1,000 blocks away from it. So I think it's going to line up to that portal, which we can't have. So we got to figure out where exactly this is supposed to be in the nether. So if we take -456, divide that by 8, we get that it should be negative 57. And the other one is negative, I want to say 222. Yeah, negative 222. And divide that by 8. And we get that it should be negative 27. So negative 57 by negative 27 is where it should line up in the nether. So before we go through this, and in case you're wondering, that is one of the only and few times I will use that F3 screen. It's just to get things lined up properly. So before we go through there, let's sleep and get rid of this nighttime. That's going to be the first important thing to do here. Ooh, especially with all that out there. Wow. Yeah, let's not deal with all that. Ooh, that was dangerous. But alright, before we go through, we're going to grab out of the hardware store here. Make sure there's nothing in here. I'm not quite sure this is probably lit up or not. We're going to grab some obsidian. We only need 14 to make the portal back. And then we already got a sparker, so we're off to the nether to see how this lines up. And so let's go ahead, hop on through the portal and see just how far we can get. Let me eat first. Make sure we have full hunger bars there. Make sure we got nothing spawned in here. And alright, let's see where we go. And yep, that's exactly as I thought. Ooh, dropping frame rates there as we wait for the area to load, terrain to load. But it's exactly as I thought. We came through the portal that goes to the spawn. So we need to get negative 57, negative 27. If we take a look here, negative 57 is going to be that way. So in that general direction. Now, like I said, this is one of the few times I'm going to be using this F3 screen. I don't normally like to use it. I find it like a little cheaty as far as using it to find your way to certain places, like a reminder of where your dead body is and stuff like that. But this, in this case, that's not what we're doing here. We're just trying to line portals up correctly. So, oh wait, that's actually too far. Negative 57 right here. Now we need to go to negative X or negative Z. We need to head out that way. And that's gonna get us like right out in the middle of the lava lake. That's not cool. So we're gonna have to build this up, which means we're gonna need to get a lot of this stuff, another rack, and we're gonna go out there and build a little platform out in the middle of nowhere. And we're gonna try to protect it as much as possible. So let me go ahead and work on that, and we'll come back in just 1 second. Okay, there we go. We have this little tunnel here all done and made up, and a platform out here. It's nothing pretty, it's nothing special. It's just a way to get to where we're going to be putting the portal. Now let's go ahead and double check this here. We want to put the portal on 57, negative 27. So right there. It's got to be the center of the portal. So we're good there. Go ahead and grab our obsidian and put down the first block, and then just go from there. We got to make it roughly about that size, right? So we can just go ahead and put that up, and we can even be a little cheap on it. And that's it. That's all we need. But you know what? Let's not be cheap with it. Let's go ahead and do it as we're supposed to. So with that done, we can go ahead and spark it up. Head on through and make sure we come out inside the church. And perfect. There we go. So now we're all set there. Now we just need to go grab a couple villagers and bring them our way. And of course it's nighttime on the surface world again. Let's go ahead and head to sleep here. So I'm going to go and grab some rails and some mine carts and whatnot. And I'll meet you back over at spawn. And so here we are back at spawn. I went ahead and got the rails and mine carts, and that is all ready. So we're going to go ahead and string this along over to the nether portal here. Let's just double check we can put these down on glass. No, we can't. So we got to replace that glass with a little bit of something else. So what do you say we grab some stone real quick, place that down. I'm going to place this track down going all the way to our little village apartments over here. Back when we were doing our little tutorial thing. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get some of these guys in some mine carts, get them ready to transport. And so we'll be back in, I guess, just another second after we get that hooked up. And there we have our 4 individuals on minecarts here. We got a, what do we have here? A weaponsmith, 2 weaponsmiths, a priest, and a shepherd. All ready to head on off to their new home in the Wild West town where they're going to go ahead and populate the entire town. What do you say we go ahead and start getting these guys onto the rails there and get them moving all the way over to the nether portal. And we'll go ahead and get them pushed through there. And I just remembered something I think I forgot, which was to put a back bar there. So as to make sure that they, nope, okay, good enough. He gets stuck right there. We can go ahead and hit F3 and B to show the hitboxes. And we want to hit just the minecart, not that guy. That he can go ahead and go on through. And now we're going to do that with the rest of them there. And then we're going to take them and get them on another rail here to send them off to the other portal to the Wild West town. And so once they get over there, we can go ahead and break the minecart again. There we go. And well, let's make sure it's in there. Break the minecart again and send him on through. Except he jumped out of the minecart. Okay, let's get you through. Okay, and now he's through. Let's get the rest of them. And so we got them all pushed through, and they can now go ahead and populate the town. Let's go ahead and give them each like a stack of food. Is that good enough for him to pick it up? Okay, that was good enough. Let's go ahead and get this guy now. That way they each have enough food to go ahead and get started here. I see some of them are already coming outside and enjoying the view of the area. So there we go. Oh, nope, he ran away from that one. Try again. There we go. So they each have enough food. They should be good to go ahead and start populating our 1-horse town to be more than just 1 horse. So if they go about exploring a little bit, they'll see all the doors and have them all become part of the village. And so that is where we're going to end it for today. Thanks for coming along, my friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take this stuff off and say thanks for coming along. The church is now done. Only a couple more builds to do and we'll be done with our little Wild West town here. Once again, if you get a chance, go ahead and please follow that link in the description down below over to Anaris Alice's page and show her some love in those comments on that last video dealing with the Ender Dragon. And until next time, take care, be well, and we will see you again shortly.